Hello and welcome to a new episode on Sadhana World Foundation. As you know, we care about crafting young lives. We present stories focused on moral values drawn from the lessons in history and various folk tales of the world. Today I'm going to present you a story written by an author called Margaret Bhatti, who is a famous children stories author. Her books are available on Amazon. She has written several books. So this story about two young kids growing up in the suburbs of a large city. So this young girl called Lata, has no parents. She is being raised by her grandma. She lives in the suburb of the city, which is a small settlement of various families who are leading their lives based on the people who are living in the city. Lata's grandma works in rich people's homes. She basically does the domestic chores and leads her life. Lata sort of takes care of the home, and grandma goes in the morning, works, comes back in the lunchtime, again goes in the evening. Whatever she earns, they lead their life. They have a very modest living, as we can imagine. In their house, it's the grandma and Lata, and a dog and a cat and two hens and a goat. Quite a large family in that sense. Every day morning, Lata collects water, takes care of the home. Grandma goes out to work in other people's homes, comes back at the lunchtime with some food which is good enough for that entire large family. Then Lata goes out playing, and in the evening, again, grandma goes for her duties while Lata takes care of the home. That's their life. Here comes the twist. In that settlement, in that colony, there are rather little children who are of Lata's age. Lata knows them. They talk to each other. However, Lata is never part of that group that she so much desires to be part of. Why? Because Lata is poor. Lata doesn't have dolls to play with. She cannot really participate in the picnics and the feasts that the friends organize from time to time. It was one such day when the friends are celebrating a doll festival. Basically, somebody's doll is marrying someone else's doll. Somebody has a plastic doll, somebody has a rubber doll. The bride and the groom are going to marry each other. The friends are going to have a feast. So it's very interesting for the kids, but Lata is not part of that. She is feeling very sad that she is excluded from such events which are taking place around her. She is always stuck to the home. She sometimes curses her own life. That's how she grows up. And in that same colony, there is a boy called Joseph who is suffering from polio. He had polio in his childhood, and his legs are kind of not working. So he cannot move on his own. So he is basically excluded again from the group because he is kind of legless. He cannot move. He is handicapped physically. However, mentally he is not handicapped. He has his own ambitions. He also wants to belong to groups. He wants to have friends. So Lata and Joseph somehow are in kind of a similar boat. So they know each other. Lata every day takes Joseph on her back to the nearby railway station area where they sit there and spend some time. They observe other children playing. They try to play something like a gilli danda or with some marbles. Observe the goats grazing, cows grazing nearby, the trains passing by, the planes, odd planes who are flying in the sky, the stork and the egrets who are flying in the sky. That's their life. And this particular day, when the doll festival is happening, Lata is sad. Lata describes it to Joseph. Joseph asks, can we do something? Can we have a feast of our own? Lata suddenly remembers that her grandmother had given her 10 paise in the morning. 10 paise is a lot of money for her. She doesn't get pocket money. Joseph doesn't get pocket money. So it's a lot of money for them. So they decide how to spend that money. There are various options, whether they will have puffed rice, they will have ice colas, they will have chocolates, various things they discuss and they evaluate options. An interesting idea comes to their head. They organize a doll festival. Where are the dolls coming from? Joseph's home has got a chisel which is not being used. The chisel doesn't have the blade, it has just the wooden handle. The wooden handle is lying there in one corner of their home, and they thought that that wooden handle of the chisel can be the bride, and we need a groom for it. Where is the groom going to come from? Lata suddenly thinks that the grandma uses a stick to beat the clothes while washing them in the nearby tap. So she collects that stick. The stick becomes the groom, and the wooden handle of the chisel becomes the bride. So the bride and groom are together. They have 10 paise. Lata goes and buys some peanuts, and that becomes their feast. They need some utensils. Where does she get some utensils to serve the food of the peanuts? Just imagine the ingenuity of the kids. So she finds the empty packs of cigarette lying near the railway track. She sees that that cigarette pack has got a silver foil. So she takes that silver foil and they make those silver foils into small bowls, and those bowls become the silver bowls in their minds. So they have a grand feast. They enjoy, they chew the peanuts to the last juice coming out of each nut, because they want to really enjoy this party. They spend the time together. The trains are passing by, they're feeling very thrilled. Joseph dreams to be a train engine driver someday, because he knows that to drive a locomotive, which is such a huge, gigantic machine, it can be driven without you need to be physically strong. He sometimes dreams to become a pilot of the planes which are flying by. He is ambitious. He is thinking how he can reach there. So these are two ingenious kids who are trying to innovate, trying to create ways of living life in a grand way. They have their own dreams and ambitions. Now comes the most interesting part of the story. While they were celebrating this doll festival, their goat, Lata's goat, the pet, who was grazing nearby, is not to be found. Lata keeps running here and there in search of the goat. On the way, she finds a red shoe. The shoe has got some golden thread work which is shining. The shoe looks beautiful, but it is just one piece. Where is the second piece? She searches all around. She is searching the goat, but she finds this shoe, and she is trying to figure out where is the other piece of the shoe. Maybe it becomes a pair, and she discovers that that shoe is part of a new pair of shoe, because it hasn't been used. It's a beautiful golden red velvet shoe which she has never seen in her life. It's so attractive. She wants to wear it, but it's just one piece. They discuss amongst themselves what to do, because the other piece is not there. So they come up with an idea that, can we use this one piece of shoe to show off to our friends that this shoe is a special shoe which comes only in one piece, and it has to be used as a showpiece, not to walk on the streets. People who have never used shoes in their lives, for them of course one shoe is great, and they are ingeniously again thinking that how to make the most out of this. Now Lata and Joseph are feeling very happy that they have discovered. Of course, they discover the goat, and all of them come back home and they show off to others. The friends are all interested in trick. They want to use that shoe. Then they say that, hey, no, 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 no. This is a special shoe. This is how it is to be used. Now Lata comes up with a commercial idea. What will I get if I give you this shoe just to try out for 1 minute, for 2 minutes, for 5 minutes, for half a day? And she starts earning money out of it. So she becomes, over a period of time, now she gets pocket money. Joseph and Lata are having a good time because the pocket money, every day that she gets, she is able to buy the ice colas, she is able to buy puffed rice, she is able to buy golgappas, and so on and so forth. So it's a good time. Interesting thing is, near the area where the children play, there was a big statue, somebody's statue. They used to call it Janak statue. So they used to have an interesting game there, that people who sit on that statue become the king, and the other people have to obey the orders of the king. So this shoe, this piece of shoe, someone who has that piece of shoe becomes the king. So Lata becomes the king most of the days. As children started growing, over a period of time, that shoe did not fit anybody. It doesn't fit Lata, it doesn't fit any of her friends, so nobody is interested in that shoe. However, all of them think that the shoe is a special shoe. Somebody who wears this shoe becomes the king. They all have to chant a particular song in the honor of the king. However, Joseph, who is almost legless, who has very small feet, and those feet are not moving, so now is the time for Joseph to become the king, because the shoe fits Joseph's legs. And Joseph now wears the shoe and sits on that, and Lata helps Joseph to sit on that statue, and Joseph now becomes the king. And everybody chants in praise of the king. So Joseph is the king now. It's a beautiful story. When I read this story, I got reminded of the old saying that every dog has its own day. All of us have to be patient. Many a times we simply don't persevere. We don't persevere. We lose hope. We give up. That's why somebody has said that the real courage is in getting up after the fall. You may fail, but we have to keep trying. We have to get up. If you fall, you have to get up. You fall, you get up and keep trying. There are many people who have talked about many successful people who have spoken about their attempts. Thomas Edison said, I learned of thousands of ways of not making a light bulb. So ladies and gentlemen, I hope you like this story about every dog has its own way. We need to be patient, and success will come our way. We need to persevere. Thank you very much. I look forward to our future conversations.